Good morning, Rebels. I'm losing my voice on a Monday morning. It's great to be back with you guys. Hopefully it's a good Monday morning and you're heading on your way into your daily commute. I don't know if you saw a couple of posts that I made at the weekend, but today is about actually me sharing my own story, really to help you to rewrite your own. My compelling story about how I, made that shift from corporate world into a very different world today. So it really is from the heart, and I kind of called it this old rebel heart of mine. Now, any of you that may be even a little bit older than me will kind of recognise that song from the 60s as well. And the reason I wanted to share this kind of compelling story is it took me back to a mastermind group, coaching mastermind group that I was part of a couple of months ago, when we all asked to share our compelling story to where we were to where we are now. And I was really conscious when I did it that it was very, very quick. I did stumble over my words a bit, and I really didn't give it the time and energy that it needed. So I redid it, and this is what I wanted to share with you today. And it is all about trusting our instincts around where we are and what we want to do in the future, and going with that gut instinct and that intuition. So the reason I wanted to do that is that I think I spent a lot of time in corporate world, not being me, but really thinking about all the time, how is it that others, in what way do I want others to see me? And is that a true reflection of me? So how do I want them to see me? How do I want to be seen? But every time sort of moving away from, well, how am I actually? Who is the real Nick? And that'll make a little bit of sense when I come on to it. So just a very quick kind of potted history about my story. I worked hard, as a kid. I wouldn't say I was an academic by any stretch of the imagination, but I did push myself, hard, and very much lost myself, in my studies to kind of prove that I could do things. I was sort of actually my first generation family-wise to go off to university. So those of you that are listening to this might relate to, because of that, I did an HND route to start with, then sort of translated it into a degree because we didn't really have a yardstick. I had fairly good A levels, but how would I get on at university? And then I kind of started that kind of corporate career, which when I look back has spanned 22, 23 years. And I did go from one large corporate to another. I started in an IT organisation for about 10 years. I moved around in HR, not always in, big cities, and then, finally moved to the city later in my career. But you know what? At the time, I enjoyed the hustle and, and bustle of it. I enjoyed the stretch. I enjoyed the challenge. I was that kind of girl, if you like, that put 150% in. So I would work my evenings, I'd work, as a general rule, so my, my weekends, typically I would say 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday. That was the kind of routine. So I stepped my way through IT businesses, construction businesses, banking, telecommunications, and then finally professional services. So my background was very much in HR, recruitment, graduates, apprentices, that type of thing. And you might think, well, kind of why am I sharing this? Because when I look back, I did get caught up in my sort of ensuing success in the corporate world. But what, did I feel visible? Did I feel authentic? Probably not when I looked back, because I was always in a world of trying to second guess how I thought others were expecting me to be, or how I thought others wanted me to look like. So was I really being myself? No. And I wondered if I was just, conditioned, just kind of rubbing along, in a world that, if I'm honest, did I really identify with at the end of the day. So that really takes me to kind of, you know, my business now. Yes, I retrained as a hypnotherapist, I retrained as a counsellor, but I'm also a coach, and set up Rebel Coaching to support women like me and like yourself who, you know, for whatever reason are looking to leave that corporate world for some greater space, some greater flexibility, to, you know, to be yourself. So I came up with the Rebel because I really felt that inner rebel in me, which there is, you know, by nature I am an introvert, but there's an extrovert trying to get out as well. So it was tamed, it was suppressed, you know, it wasn't shining through, which takes me now to really wanting to work or working with, you know, soul aligned clients. So if you fast forward then, which was like 2.5 years ago, when I left, you know, corporate world, it was almost like that sort of coming out party, so to speak, where, you know, I started to set up the business, a heart sold business of, you know, coaching. But the reason I wanted to kind of share that today is to come back to trusting your gut instincts. I know it's an incredibly hard decision to leave corporate world when you're kind of wrapped up in it. You might be thinking, I don't know any different, what would I do? But you can always trust your gut instinct. And if that's telling you that it's not right for you anymore, what I would say is don't push those thoughts away, because a bit like a boomerang, they'll always come back. To sort of be telling you, those chimps on your shoulder, if you like, that it's not right for you anymore. You know, maybe it's had its time, and it's no longer, you know, valid for you. And this actually might sound like you, which I hope is great. So I guess my message today is to embrace all that is you. If it doesn't feel right, think about changing it. If you don't think you're being authentic, you're being visible, you're kind of showing up as you, then what can you do? What can you do differently? Because if you're stuck and that passion and motivation is stuck, then it'll be really tricky for you to move on and do something, you know, really quite different. Tomorrow, without giving the game away, I wanted to kind of follow on from this and talk about, we've talked a lot about the mindset shifts, but I want to start talking again about taking action. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking a little bit about taking action without expectation, because I think what comes with knowing that we need to make a change will create a lot of pressure on ourselves, you know, to make that change, and what should and shouldn't we be doing. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about them tomorrow. But I hope today has been helpful to you to say, wherever you are now, I was like you, I was there, if you like. I have walked in your shoes. I never walked in the high heels, to be honest. It was always flats, but I have, you know, walked in your shoes. So I'm going to come on and talk about that a little bit more tomorrow, about feeling the fear and procrastination. But Rebel Coaching, you know, if this does really appeal to you, and it would be really helpful to, if you like, have a soul sister help you on that coaching journey, then please do get in contact with me. I'm here for you and I can support you on that journey. So I want to leave you with that thought today. That niggling thought is to be yourself, and really, if it's not working for you, do step into that new reality of doing something different. Have a great Monday. It's been quite impromptu today, so I hope that's helped. Have a great Monday, and I will speak with you soon. Take care. Bye for now.